Hi, how do you do? Welcome to Walmart. What can I get you? A guitar player that can kind of actually play guitar now compared to him being a poser and not actually knowing what music was or real music or anything? Well, I think you might possibly be getting that, I think, maybe. So I've been playing guitar for, I have no idea. The title probably says it. I haven't counted yet. I'm probably going to be bamboozled at the fact. So I think it was about a year ago that I did one of these, and it was on my actual main channel. But this is on my second channel. If you didn't know, my second channel is actually going to get a little more professional now because I'm not scared to post stuff on my second channel, but I am on my first because, you know. But about a year ago, I was playing like this. Okay, to be honest, I'm just gonna say right away, at that time, I think it was like 100 and something days, I have no idea. I was doing pretty good. Before I continue on with me patting myself on the back, basically, and having a giant ego, I want to show you how I am now compared to then. Here you go. Hey, that's pretty good. So I was around 160 or something. I don't know how many days in I was when I was doing that. That was the first guitar video that I made on my first channel. And if you've ever tried to pick up an actual instrument and play something or, you know, try and commit or something, it's hard. I want to tell you how I got into playing guitar. So basically, I'm homeschooled and I have to have credits to graduate like an actual school, and I needed credits to graduate because I didn't have enough. But the point is, I decided to get an elective, or I didn't decide because I was kind of forced to get an elective, and I was kind of forced up against a wall to pick either piano lessons, another language, or guitar lessons, and I said, okay, fine, guitar lessons. I really don't want to do this, but guitar lessons. And the day was drawing close, and I was just like, I didn't want to do it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And I went there. I sat down and didn't have a guitar, so the guitar teacher gave me his to play for a little bit, and I fell in love. I have no idea what it was. I think he handed me like just a steel string acoustic, and I played it, and I don't know what it was, but I just enjoyed the fact that it sounded like music. If you've ever picked up a guitar and you just went, you can kind of come to the conclusion that they're notes and you're a musician now. You just played music and you're a musician now, okay? There's something oddly satisfying about playing a note and having it fit. It's just like if you have OCD and you play something exactly right, it really just, you know, gives you that boost. They say every right note that you hit gives you a bigger ego. But the point is, I play the guitar. I enjoyed it so much. I actually got a rental from my school, and that was a classical guitar, and I played it for, I have to say, maybe about 5 hours straight when I got it. I just went outside and I sat down and I just started playing. And you know what I played? After about those 5 hours, I went to sleep and I woke up the next day, and I'll tell you what, it stuck with me and I still wanted to play. Around that time, I kind of came to realize that games aren't the only thing that matter to me. Not to say I don't enjoy games because everything is an art medium, but when it came to music, I didn't really notice that it could be art before I picked up an instrument and just felt the real kind of feeling that I was actually putting into whatever note I was playing on the guitar. And this is bringing me to my main point. I was 160 days in and I was down picking fast. As cringy as stuff like this is, I had the right mindset, and maybe I was doing something wrong. point was I had the right mindset. And when it came to practicing, when you're beginning to play guitar, it doesn't really mean everything to do the same kind of like scale over and over again. It's more about what you want to do so you can get yourself hooked. A common misconception when you're playing guitar is that if you get into playing guitar and you're a beginner, you have to play a steel string acoustic because you have to press harder on the fretboard to actually play the notes, or you play a classical because the neck is wider and the strings are further apart. And that's absolutely false, because just think about it. How many people have seen like Slash play on stage and be like, oh, I love that Les Paul, I want to play guitar like that. And then they go to a guitar lesson, they pay money, and their guitar teacher says, hey, you know what? You're gonna get a classical guitar, okay? And as much as guitar is guitar, it's more about what you want when you're playing guitar than what's good for you, I suppose. Now, that isn't always the case, but when it comes to how you start out, it really doesn't matter. If you want the $5,000 Les Paul, get the $5,000 Les Paul. If you want a $2 piece of trash, get the $2 piece of trash. Point is, whatever instrument you're looking at, if you like the look of it, you will be more inclined to pick it up and play something. Simple as that. Now, if you're interested in playing guitar and just kind of, you know, if you're gonna follow in my footsteps, then I'm honored. But what I'm saying is, it takes time. People would say, okay, look at this guy, he's got natural talent, he was born able to shred. And that's absolutely false. If you want something, if you want to play like Steve Vai, you can emulate what he does with a lot of time and a lot of effort. You just have to absolutely go at it and go at it and go at it and go at it and go at it until your brain explodes. Repetition is perfection, okay? Don't ever think that your favorite guitar hero didn't spend hours and hours sucking to get good. I can 200% bet you that Van Halen didn't pick up his first guitar when he was 3 and write Eruption the first time he held it.
Actually, he probably did.
So if you're looking into playing guitar like I did, don't try and limit yourself to practice or anything right off the bat, because I can tell you what, if you want to play like someone, you can practice and practice and practice, and it's good for you. If you go to your first guitar lesson and they tell you, hey, play a steel string and play the song that you don't like, you're not going to play the song you don't like, and you're not going to play a steel string if you don't like it. So that was pretty deep. I'm gonna get onto my progress now. How I've come along with music is actually pretty well. I mean, I've understood the musical theory, and that's what I'm working on now. I've gotten the technique down, I think, in a lot of areas. I haven't done sweep picking or, you know, intense stuff like that, but I've gotten down the entire vibrato, the bending, the picking, the left hand, right hand, coordination, all that cool stuff. When I set out to learn something, I could probably 7 out of 10 times learn it, unless it's, you know, But what I've been working on recently is musical theory, and I'm starting to dip myself into modes, which is interesting, a bit confusing, but I mean, modes are expected to be confusing, especially for someone like me who didn't really start the musical theory side of his playing until maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So musical theory is proving to be absolutely wonderful for my playing, but it's not essential for every player. So if you start out playing guitar and you're being forced to learn musical theory when you don't want to learn it and you just want to try and get the technique down, that is totally fine. So since we're on the topic of guitar, I have got myself a Jackson JS32 Dinky natural oil guitar. This is absolutely wonderful. The body is open pore mahogany. The neck is a smoothed out maple. It's a rosewood fretboard, which is probably not going to be a thing anymore since they're like banning rosewood. That's cool. It's got its own special kind of like Jackson bridge that is made by Floyd Rose. And I don't even know what the pickups are, but they're pretty decent. Obviously, it has a locking nut too, so it can keep its tuning. And in all honesty, it cannot lose its tuning from what I've done. I could just absolutely make the strings pure noodles, go back up, and it's still in tune. And I am absolutely bamboozled. This is my first guitar. This is my guitar. I don't have to return it to my school like the Les Paul that I have, but this is absolutely wonderful, and it's going to open up a lot of opportunities for my musical taste. And while we're on the topic of music, I've been writing some music myself too. I have a little artist name, and I've been doing some cool stuff. I have an audio interface now, so I can pick up my guitar, put it into Logic Pro X on my Mac, and record it. I'm using bias effects for my modeling, and it's going pretty good. Here's a little taste of what it sounds like. So that's spicy. And other than that, I've just been learning some riffs. I mean, Enter Sandman sounds a little bit better now. And a big thing that I've been trying to work on is my improvisation, and it's getting a lot better since I understand the notes a lot more, because, you know, if I'm on a wrong note with a wrong chord, it can kind of sound weird, but kind of cool. So that's how I'm going with guitar now. If you want to play guitar, tell me how you're doing in the comments. Tell me how I'm doing in the comments. Tell me what I could do. Tell me if I could work on something. Tell me what I should learn, if there's a metal song or something that I should learn. Also, another thing that I've improved on is my musical taste, because when I started guitar, I think it was into like dubstep or something, and now I've got the holy grail of thrash right here. So yeah, I'm into a lot of bands now. I like, obviously, Metallica. I like Megadeth. I like Slayer, Havoc, Iron Maiden, and a whole bunch of other great music that's really hard to think of off the top of my head. So that's how my musical journey has been going. I'm assuming I'll make the next one like 100 days or something. It'll be fun. I enjoy guitar. I am going to set out to learn a whole bunch of new things, and I'm already starting to do that right now. I'm starting to learn more scales and figuring out modes, obviously, so I can, you know, do all cool sorts of things. So if you enjoyed this, I'm selling out, okay?